My phone lit up at 11:51 p.m. with a cold blue truth. It was a group chat named Family, a message from my mother, Eleanor Vance. After discussion, we've decided you are no longer considered part of this family. Do not attend any gatherings. Do not contact us. Simple, clean, a digital guillotine. 3 seconds later, my sister, Brittany, hearted the message, a little red heart beside the sentence that cut me out of my own history. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I felt a chilling calm settle in my bones. I looked at my laptop, then at the frame's photo on my desk. The four of us, smiling at a vineyard, a trip I had paid for. For 10 years, I had been the family's silent financier, the successful venture capitalist they were proud of in public but resented in private. I was their emergency fund, their mortgage guarantor, their invisible safety net. Lena Vance, 32, professional wallet. I opened a folder on my desktop labeled Family Obligations. It wasn't filled with sentimental photos. It was a forensic audit of my loyalty. Vance Residence Mortgage. My name as cosigner. Payments auto-drafted from my account for 8 years. Brittany's luxury apartment lease. Guarantor, Lena Vance. Father's failed business loan. Vance Holdings. Collateral, my investment portfolio. Eleanor's medical crisis in Tuscany. My American Express Black Card. Countless utilities, taxes, insurance premiums, all on autopay from Lena Vance. They hadn't just exiled a daughter, they had fired their accountant, and the accountant was about to conduct the final audit. By 12:03 a.m., I began clicking cancel on every single autopay. I didn't just cancel them, I backdated the cancellations to the first of the month, triggering immediate overdue statuses. Then I sent formal withdrawal notices as the cosigner to every bank, lender, and landlord. Subject: immediate removal of financial guarantee. Lena Vance. I ended each with all future financial obligations rest solely with the primary account holders. I saved the pièce de résistance for last, the house. The sprawling, modernist cliffside house in Monterey they called home, the one I had bought. The deed was in a trust I controlled. They just lived there. At 12:17 a.m., I emailed my lawyer, Marcus Thorne, and my most ruthless property manager. The subject line: immediate eviction and asset liquidation, Vance Property. Then I texted the group chat they'd just exiled me from. My message was shorter than theirs. Noted: all financial agreements are hereby terminated, effective immediately. Please vacate the premises at 17 Ocean Ridge Drive by 9 a.m. tomorrow. The locks will be changed. I attached a PDF of the deed, my name bolded as the sole trustee. Then I blocked every single one of their numbers. The silent war. The next 48 hours were a symphony of silent digital destruction. 6 a.m., Brittany's Apple Pay declined at a Starbucks. Her linked account was mine. 7:30 a.m., my father, Richard, received a frantic call from his golf club. His membership, paid through a corporate account I funded, was suspended. 8:15 a.m., the property manager, flanked by 2 very large associates, arrived at 17 Ocean Ridge Drive by 9 a.m. My mother, still in her silk robe, tried to scream them off her marble porch. They presented the court-order-backed eviction notice and began boxing their personal effects into a rented storage pod. Everything else, the furniture, the art I had curated, stayed. It was my property. 9:05 a.m., Brittany's landlord called her. Without my guarantor's signature, her lease was void. She had 72 hours to vacate. 10 a.m., the bank called Richard about the now delinquent mortgage. The automatic payment had been canceled. He had 30 days to refinance solely in his name, an impossibility given his credit. They tried to reach me. They called from unknown numbers, left sobbing, then raging voicemails. They sent emails pleading, then threatening. They even had my Aunt Celia try to reason with me. My response to everything was the same: silence, and a forwarded email to Marcus Thorne. Their public facade crumbled next. My mother took to Facebook. Sometimes the children you raise turn into snakes, betrayed by my own flesh and blood. Pray for us. This time, I didn't stay silent. From a blank professional account, I posted a single comment on her public post. The snake paid for the roof over your head, the car in your driveway, and your daughter's rent for 5 years. The financial statements and deeds are public record. Pray for yourselves. I linked to the county clerk's official property records site. The comment section erupted. The family narrative shattered in real time. The final reckoning. But I wasn't done. I had saved the most exquisite revenge for last. My grandfather, a self-made man who saw right through my father's bluster, had left the bulk of his estate to me in a tightly controlled trust. My parents had contested it for years, but lost. In a hidden clause, he left them a stipend, a generous monthly allowance meant to keep them comfortable, administered by the trust, which I now controlled as the sole trustee. On the third day, I instructed the trust manager to enact Clause 7B, the Moral Turpitude Clause. If the beneficiaries acted in a way that brought demonstrable reputational or financial harm to the family legacy, the stipend could be converted to a one-time, final payment. My mother's public slander campaign was the perfect trigger. They received a certified letter. Per Clause 7B of the Joseph Vance Legacy Trust, your monthly stipend is terminated. Enclosed is a final settlement. $1. $1. The ultimate insult. Not nothing, a single symbolic dollar, a declaration of their worth. Meanwhile, I listed the Monterey house. It sold in 72 hours for cash, $3.2 million over asking. I didn't keep the money. I used it to create the Joseph Vance Second Chance Scholarship, funding trade school educations for adults escaping financial abuse. The news wrote itself. Vance heiress liquidates family estate, funds charity for economic empowerment. The story painted them as greedy, lazy aristocrats, and me as a pragmatic philanthropist. Their social annihilation was complete. The new dawn. I sit now in my new penthouse, bought with my own clean money. The walls are bare, waiting for art that holds no ghosts. Last week, a letter arrived, forwarded by Marcus. It was from my father, handwritten on cheap stationery. Lena, we're broken. You've won. Was it worth it? To destroy your family for money? I didn't write back. I simply framed the letter and hung it beside my desk. It's my masterpiece, not of revenge, but of liberation. They thought exiling me was a punishment. They didn't understand they were setting me free. They revoked my membership to a club that was bankrupting me, emotionally and financially. Now their world is small, rented, and lit by the dim glow of their own regret. My world is vast, quiet, and paid for in full. The best revenge isn't hatred. It's absolute, unassailable peace. It's looking at the wreckage of the prison they built for you and realizing you hold the only key, and you've just changed the locks. If you've ever been betrayed by the ones who were supposed to love you, you know the pain cuts deep, but the comeback can be legendary. For more stories of stunning, calculated revenge and reclaiming your power, you need to be here. Hit subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the next chapter of justice on Clara's Revenge. Your turn is coming.